What are you guys doing here? Seriously, you know what's coming. If you've been on the 16 Reasons Digimon is Better Than Pokemon, you know how I feel about Origin, so I don't know what you guys are doing here. I'm just trying to play some Pokemon Red, but if you really want to hear this, let's get started. MasterMan reviews Pokemon Origin.
Pokemon Origins was a 4-episode OVA series that debuted in November of 2013. Since then, it has garnered much critical success from several anime reviewers.
But is it really as good as people say it is? Let's find out together as we take a look at Pokemon Origins.
So we get our prologue from Professor Oak, voiced by who the hell do you think he is, Kyle A. Bear, as we are introduced to our main character Red, voiced by Bryce Papenbrook, and Green, voiced by Lucien Dodge.
And yes, I'm calling him Green, not Blue.
So both Red and Green get their Pokemon, with Red getting Charmander and Green getting Squirtle, as Professor Oak tells them their goal is to
catch them all. That was weird.
So we get a little montage of Red battling and catching Pokemon and meets up with Green, and they get into a battle, and instead of using all the Pokemon they have caught, they just use Charmander and Squirtle.
Man, this is going to be a nice lighthearted battle. I bet this is going to be... disturbing.
Green crushes Red, and after the battle, Green tells Red to give up on the Pokedex, and as Red is questioning what he should be doing next, a mysterious stranger that we have never seen.
It's Brock, voiced by Johnny Bosch.
It's morphin' time!
And gives him advice and tells him to challenge the gym leaders. So Red arrives at the gym to find Brock is the gym leader, and the battle between Brock and Red begins, and this is where Red learns about typing by having Brock tell him. The first gym battle is underway, and it's wonderful. It's well animated, well paced, and does have some great moments, like the fact that the string shot slows down a Pokemon. Red wins the battle, and the first episode ends with this line.
I will get stronger, much stronger, and I'll make Professor Oak's dream finally come true.
And this is my main issue with Red as a character.
He's not doing anything for himself, adding the fact that he has no personality, and it makes him a weak main character, at least in terms for a show, not.
But who knows, maybe I'm just being too hard. It's only the first episode. I'm certain he'll develop a personality by the end. Right?
So the next episode opens up with things we will never see. The battle against Misty, the battle against Lieutenant Surge, fighting against Team Rocket and Mount Moon, and for some reason this episode focuses on the very small story of Lavender Town, in which Red learns Team Rocket is taking over Pokemon Tower.
And okay, this is a critique for the games as well as this show.
What the hell does Team Rocket want? When we first meet them in Mount Moon, they say they're looking for fossils. Then they steal the TM Dig from this family, which we never return to them. They take over Pokemon Tower, run the gaming quarter, and then they invade Silphco.
My whole question during this time is, why? None of this makes any sense, nor does it seem that Team Rocket has a goal in mind. If they want money, they run a casino. If they want Pokemon, they steal them. If they wanted legendaries, they don't go after any of them. At least in later generation games, they gave the villains more of a motivation other than evil for the sake of being evil. But that's all Team Rocket is in both games and this show.
So Red arrives at Pokemon Tower, fights off Team Rocket. Green is there for some reason, is also fighting Team Rocket. Cubone sees his mother. And the episode ends with Red getting a Pokemon flute. And...
Gems? Are you sure you want to give me something so valuable?
These stones don't have any value as gems.
Oh, well then what are they?
You'll find out soon enough.
You know, back when Pokemon Origins was first announced, I was excited for it. I wanted this to be good. But it was at this moment that it became another Pokemon commercial. And sadly, there's no Drake Bell. In the next episode, we skip more gym battles, the Celadon Casino, and enter the Silph Coast story by meeting the secretary. And instead of being rational and waiting for the police, Red storms the building and meets Giovanni, voiced by Jamison Price. A battle begins between Red and Giovanni beats Charizard faster than Wargreymon did in Death Battle, resulting in Giovanni getting away. Then with more exposition narrated by Red.
And this is what leads to more issues with me.
It feels like Pokemon Origins has more exposition and narration than actual dialogue between characters. Red goes to one place, gets an item, moves on, and rinse repeats, and then it's over. So Red arrives at Vermilion City Gym, only to find out that the gym leader is Giovanni. And an actual battle happens. And for some reason we're hearing Giovanni's inner monologue.
I don't know why.
For some reason, we get a backstory for Giovanni, the fact that he was very similar to Red, and the fact that his battle with Red is bringing out his trainer spirit, I guess. And in the end, Red wins and refuses to take the gym badge because he doesn't want it from the boss of Team Rocket. So to answer this, Giovanni disbands Team Rocket so he can have Red accept it.
I'll be honest, while I did not like Team Rocket's motivations in the games, I did like the Giovanni character.
Him disbanding Team Rocket after you beat him for a third time was because he was humiliated by a kid and wanted Team Rocket to be the strongest. He was humiliated by the fact that he couldn't beat this kid, which makes for a more interesting character. A person who disbands over humiliation, or one who disbands because he lost his way.
Giovanni isn't the type of character that you should feel pity for, and that's what Origins is trying to do in this series.
So we're on the final episode, and Red is challenging the Elite Four. I'm sure these battles will be amazing to see.
They skip them, don't they?
Red, you are now the Pokemon League champion. Well done.
Of course they do.
So we're on the final battle. Green versus Red. Blastoise versus Charizard. This is going to be awesome! And of course, Red wins. Professor Oak arrives and congratulates Red and chews out Green for being kind of a dick throughout the series. Red gets inducted into the Hall of Fame and a montage of Red going around and capturing Pokemon, including the legendary birds. Red arrives at Professor Oak's only to find that Green was seriously injured in a battle against a wild Pokemon in the Cerulean Cave. Red decides to head to the cave to battle against Mewtwo. And Mewtwo just owns his team, defeating 5 of Red's team, leaving only Charizard.
Bond between Charizard and its human partner is strong enough. A great force of power will well up.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
I just have a broken ribs and a collapsed lung.
Charizard gets knocked into the water with Red, and it's there where Charizard Mega evolves into Mega Charizard X. With the power of Mega Evolution, Charizard and Red were able to weaken Mewtwo enough to catch him, and the series ends with Red stating he's going to capture Mew.
So there we have it, Pokemon Origins, and I still don't think it's that good.
The goods in the series goes to the animation, the voice acting, and the battles, as well as few as there were. The bads, on the other hand, is the awful pacing, Red not having a personality, and it being just a commercial for Pokemon X and Y games.
When this first came out, people said it was much better than the main Pokemon anime, but what does that tell you?
During the Unova region was when they were really dumbing down Ash, tried to replace Paul with Trip, and had Iris.
You are a little kid.
That's her comedy.
If you're a Pokemon fan who's looking for a Pokemon anime series that doesn't revolve around Ash, I guess you would like this, but for me it's something you can skip.
I really hope one day there is a good Pokemon anime out there. One that doesn't feel like a commercial for the games. One with an overarching story. One with likable characters that takes advantage to the world that they live in.
Too bad there's nothing like that exists.